looking at. The last person that did this used plaster Paris or something and really jacked it up. I mean, you don't need to use stuff like that. This is the screws that hold the slate down. These are screw holes that hold the rails. But all you got to use is a thin, you squeeze Bondo. Well, you don't squeeze it. Use a little drywall knife and you shove the Bondo in and you go whoosh, and you scrape it off and it's smooth, man. Yeah, it's level. It's pinned. There's like 5 pins that go through the middle to hold those together. So you can't do individual slates with these guys. You can't just stick them through there and tap them in underneath to raise yourself up, because the slates are pinned and you can't raise one without torquing this, and you just can't do it. So what you got to do is, what I did was I lowered this part, or leveled this part on these with shims at that end because the floor over here is lower. And then I just put on the slate because it's not attached to this wood like the newer tables are. This is all one unit. And you would shim it through here on the new units, but this one's old. So I screwed it all down and I put flooring underneath here, and on the other corners, that side over there needed to be lifted up, and that corner needed to be lifted up. And then, well, anyways, you just put level on it, all 3 slates. Now once you get it all level and screwed down, then you put your Bondo in your groove. From here back isn't so important because the rails sit here and the ball never even hits these holes, so you don't even need to fill these holes. Rail ends up like out here and it bounces. So yeah, I am smooth across here, and this is my felt. I'm going to reuse it. I believe this is what you call backed, and it's still pretty good. You can see where it was stable down before, and I just flip it. It's not damaged too bad. New felt's like $350. I ain't gonna go there. This is a little groove or not a groove, but a fold. I think maybe when we bought it, it got folded, but it's not stapled yet. But when it's stapled, that's gonna be, you gotta staple all the way around. I mean, lots of staples into the wood. But yeah, man, I'm close. There's my rails. And those are rails. Those are the side skirts that hang down. So this will all be covered up. You won't be seeing none of that. It came with lots of cues, but unfortunately, 2 of them have tips. The short one has a tip. It came with a bridge, and the longer ones are going to need tips. And we're going to redo this wall. We're going to put some foam. We're going to put some sound deadening up here. Get a pool light. Going to move that section back in enough to clear a pool cue. We got to go in like 1.5 feet. And unfortunately, that's unfinished. So yeah, it's just storage. On the other side's a weight room. Yeah, it's coming. Tomorrow I'll probably staple. And yeah, it's been an ordeal. But hey, live and learn. Watched YouTube channels, Billiards of New Orleans. That guy knows what he's doing. He's been a big help. He doesn't know it, but I'm going to send him a message. Tell him thanks for all his help. that's where I'm at right now. So tomorrow, probably get a little more going on. I should get it done tomorrow. I don't know why I can't just staple it all, put all this back. I just screws together. I'm gonna polish up the corners and make it pretty. Wild Hog saying, "Welcome to the pool world." I've got my table. Oh, well, I'll tell you what it costs here in a while. Later on. Wild Hog here with my partner, putting this pool table together. Last night I got it pre-leveled and got everything bondoed between the seams that go across. And today we're stapling felt. So I'll show you a little bit of what I'm doing. I'm doing what they call, according to New Orleans Billiards, or Billiards of New Orleans, sorry, butchered that. I'm doing the Z pattern. I've already done the corners. You go from corner to that corner, and then you jump across to the far corner, and then you finish up with that corner over there, and then you do the ends, and then you do the pockets, and then you do all down the sides, pulling and stretching. So I'll give you a quick little rundown here. It's not that hard. Just pulling the, you don't need to put staples like shoulder to shoulder down the side. You see where somebody else had put them in, that's perfect, man. They're like, inch and a half apart, inch. So what I've been doing is just giving it a little tug, getting the stapler right on the edge of where it is, giving it a pop, and pulling it down, giving it a pop, pulling it down, giving it a pop. I should do this the other way, but it's hard to pull the felt with no thumb. So this is the stapling hand. Give it a pop. Looking at the holes in the holes. There you go. See? I don't have a pneumatic stapler, or things will be going a lot quicker. So I'll get this side done. Then we'll go over to the other side, and that's when you kind of give it the pull, you know what I mean? Here we go. We're just moving on down. Here, let's slide you down. You can watch me to the pocket. Kind of missed with that guy. Wouldn't pay attention. There you go. The stapler is kind of hard to judge where the stuff comes out because it's way further down than you think it is. You kind of got to go up a little bit. Now, some of you are going to say that, hey, you're doing that wrong. But it's looking pretty good. It's tight. I'm reusing the old felt. It's backed. I guess they call it back felt. So we got that done. I'll maybe go back over and tap them all. They're all in pretty good. I don't think I need to hit them all with a hammer. Risk missing and chipping my slate underneath. Got the final approval from the puppy. Just a little short snippet. Oh, yeah, smile for the camera. We go smile. Not go smile. All right. She said, we got work to do, Dad. Go fooling around. All right, I'll show you when I start putting the rails together. I'll get this all stapled down and I'll put the rails up on the top, upside down, and we'll start putting those together. Wild Hog saying, life in the basement. We should rename this, instead of Wild Hog, Basement Life. With your dog. All right, y'all. Hope you're having a good day. Later. Well, got the rails laid upside down on the table with the corner things ready to go. Polished them up the best I could. I used Neverdull. Looks like I'm not done. Used Neverdull and some of that chrome polish, and they both did about the same. So yeah, they'll go on there with those bolts. 2 in each corner. Dog disagrees. Must be doing something wrong. So yeah, I got the parts laid out with the hardware. Just use a ratchet wrench. It's real easy. And that's the side skirts. those little parts there screw to these parts here. And you make a big square out of it. And then with the help of somebody, you pick the whole thing up, flip it over back onto the table, and you proceed to put your rail bolts in from the bottom, which go up into these holes. There you have nuts captured in them. And that's these guys. They go from the bottom of the table through the holes in the slate. Then you bolt that down, and then you go to the pockets. It's got the individual pockets, you know, and they will sit in the corners. When it's all done, that'll be the last step. You tack those in, and it's play ball. All right, everybody. I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. Well, got it together upside down, the rails and the skirts. They screw down onto the bottoms of the rails. The box end over here. And all these bolts are for when it's going to be upside down. They go into these holes through the bottom of the slate. See if I can get a good picture for you here. About there will be one of the holes. And they're all the way. There's 3 on each pad. Each rail gets 3. So it's held down really good. Almost there. Just got to figure out how to do this solo. Get this beast onto the floor, turn it sideways, and lift it back up onto the table. I would ask my wife, but she's got a bad back right now from partially helping with this when we bought it, and then we bought a couple couches at another auction, and she just lifted something wrong, and she's been messed up for like a week. So I'm not even going to ask her. I'm just going to have to grin and bear it. Hope it doesn't self-destruct on me as I lift it. I'm going to take some pictures maybe, but it's going to happen, man. I'm going to do it today. Later on, Wild Hog, pay attention. I'm pool advice at its lowest form here. Here we go. Well, I got it off. Carefully, slowly, got it off. Leaned it up against the wall here. Now my next plan is to go get 2 carts. I'm gonna lay it flat, like this way onto here. And then I'm going to get 2 carts that are a little bit taller than this table. I'm going to put the ends on them both, and roll it across, and then dig out one side at a time. Yeah, what could go wrong? I'm on it. Well, it's on there. I don't know how long it's been, probably 45 minutes. By the time I gathered up everything I needed, moved everything I needed to move to get the stuff in here that I needed. I used the same gorilla cart that I brought the slates in on for one end of this thing, because I had it sitting over here sideways against the wall. Well, that was too skinny to lay it out. So I had to carefully bring it over here by hand and put it on some blankets. And then I brought in a 4-wheel cart that's taller than the slate, and put it over here. And then I brought in that gorilla cart and put it over here, and took the rail assembly and laid it down on the floor, picked up one side, put it on that cart, picked up the other side, put it on the cart over here. I know you can imagine what I'm talking about. And I wheeled one cart that way. I put blankets on the table. And I turned the other cart so it moved this way. Then when I got this cart to here, I left that cart up against that end. I swung this around and put it on the blankets with you know, what do you call it, the skirt. Set it on the blanket on this end. Came over to this end, lifted this up, kicked the cart out of the way, and set this part down so it was resting on the table. underneath the rails. So then I slowly pulled it that way to where it plopped down on that side. And then I went around and straightened up all the edges. Put the bolts all in. They're all real loose. I still got to, make sure it's perfectly right. And then I can fix these little metal corners. Some of them came loose when I was messing around. They just slide back on, so I just got to get them squared up. Finish putting a couple screws in there and there. Yeah, coming along. Can't believe it. I'll be playing pool after dinner. Later on. First break on the new table. It's been a week or two, so we're going to see what happens. I'm not going to kill it because I don't want to rip the paper on the first go around. Oh, I've never played with glasses before. Oh, so nice. Yeah. There you go. It's official. Beats busting a champagne bottle on it.